President Donald Trump happily held hands with his grandchildren before heading to Camp David with his family on Friday as Hurricane Harvey barreled toward Texas. The president was joined by his wife, First Lady Melania, his 11-year-old son, Barron, his eldest daughter, Ivanka, her husband, Jared Kushner, and their 3 children, Arabella, Joseph and Theodore, ahead of their departure. As the group made their way across the White House South Lawn to board Marine One on Friday, Trump was photographed holding hands with 6-year-old Arabella and 3-year-old Joseph, but it was a little girl who managed to get some extra time with the president. Trump was holding both Arabella and Joseph's hands as he, Melania, and Barron stepped out of the Oval Office, but he and his granddaughter eventually took off by themselves ahead of the group. While Trump was with Arabella and waving with his free hand, Barron walked alongside his nephew, who is turning 4 in October. Melania looked back to make sure they were okay, but Barron proved to be a doting uncle as he watched little Joseph. Meanwhile, Ivanka and Jared, both senior advisors to the president, walked behind them with their youngest child, Theodore. The first daughter donned a pale blue long-sleeve top, which she tucked into white and green wide-leg trousers. Ivanka had her hair pulled up in a messy top knot, and she donned shades while she held little Theodore on a hip. The mother of 3 used her spare hand to lock arms with her husband, who was carrying a computer bag and plenty of files. Trump's travels came right as Hurricane Harvey strengthened to a Category 3 storm as it neared Texas. It's Trump's 3rd time visiting the Naval Support Facility that functions as a private retreat for sitting presidents. However, Camp David, the country retreat located near Thurmont, Maryland, is just 45 minutes away from Washington, D.C., and Homeland Security Advisor Tom Bossert told reporters during a televised briefing that it's not a trip. Bossert insisted that Trump can monitor the storm that will soon bear down on Texas from Camp David just as well as he could from the White House. Meanwhile, Vice President Mike Pence is staying behind to keep tabs on the situation, tweeting that he was already briefed on the latest hurricane developments by Bossert. As Trump was leaving, he sent out a tweet urging people in the storm's path to follow instructions. "I encourage everyone in the path of Hurricane Harvey to heed the advice and orders of their local and state officials," he wrote. The White House sent out a picture of him conferring with Bossert and Chief of Staff John Kelly in the Oval Office around the same time. A statement that accompanied the picture said Trump continues to closely monitor Hurricane Harvey and the preparedness and response efforts of state, local, and federal officials. Before leaving the White House, it said, Trump received a briefing from Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and Administrator Brock Long, Acting Secretary of Homeland Security Elaine Duke, Bossert and Kelly. He also spoke to Governors Greg Abbott of Texas and John Bel Edwards of Louisiana and committed to providing assistance as appropriate. This storm will likely be very destructive for several days. The president encourages people in the path of this dangerous storm to heed the advice and orders of their local and state officials, the statement said. Those who ignore evacuation orders could be putting both themselves and first responders in danger. Melania and Ivanka also tweeted message of support for those who in the path of the hurricane, with the First Lady writing, "For those living near the path of Hurricane Harvey, stay safe. Thoughts and prayers of an entire country are with you. For those in Hurricane Harvey's path, we are praying for you." Please check out http://hurricanes.gov for preparedness tips. Stay safe. Ivanka added.